fine. Okay, let's try this. Oh, hi there. Just back from work. Lights leaving slowly. To be honest, I'm not sure that this is even working, so I don't know. I look pretty dark on the camera. Anyway, it's not about me, so sorry for being so late. Since the end of holiday and the end of my vacation was just running. Yeah, they didn't quite find time for, I don't know, for anything. Anyway, I don't want to complain. So, but since I think this may be one of the last days of summer here in northern Germany, but don't believe me, I'm always wrong. So last year I think I said that about many days. This is gonna be the last day of the summer. Yeah, but I don't want to say that I'm looking forward to winter, but yeah, to be honest, summer really hit us hard. So yeah, when I did the video in the dinosaur park, I think I said 8 weeks no rain or something like that. I didn't know at that point. I didn't know that this going to continue. Just some drops, but nearly no rain whole summer. So they say in northern Germany we have the same amount of rain during the summer that's normally expected for the Middle East. So, yeah, obviously we don't expect that. So we lost millions, literally millions of trees, and I lost 3 of them. So, yeah, anyway, but you see, people still out and having fun and so on. So yeah, that's the other side of the summer. So gave us a lot of opportunities. So normally we don't have much opportunities to go out. So Bremen is known as a gray city. So that's not only about the weather, which water quality is actually pretty good, but it's gray from all the sand in it and so on. And it has always been, but it's more about the weather. So they say it's a gray city. Yeah, we have a lot of rain normally, but not this year. Yeah, anyway, so I thought I'm gonna take my chance and do a video. Yeah, and so I came here to in the center of town to the old medieval harbor. So that's not the harbor that's used today. So we have industrial harbors, deep sea harbors, and all kind of harbors. But this is the old harbor that's used to be the harbor in the Middle Ages. So when you have the ships coming from the sea, and the sea is, I don't know, 80 kilometers away. So yeah. So anyway, but what drove me here? So that's the tobacco I'm smoking, and I want to talk about. Gave me the idea to come here, and you will understand when I show you the tobacco. Hope camera gets this done. So light is quite difficult. Don't look at my face, camera. You see that? So this is, I'm not pretty sure that's really sharp. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. Should do the job. So it's about Billy Butt Blonde. Billy Butt Blonde. And first of all, it's Billy Butt Blonde. It's well, I pronounce that perhaps a bit French. Blonde. I don't know. Billy Butt Blonde. So it's Billy Butt Blonde. It's not Billy's butt. Actually, I've seen a presenter talking about Billy's butt, and he said even smells like that. So I don't want to do any comments on that. Yeah, anyway, but he was talking about the original Billy Butt, and this is Billy Butt Blonde. So that's rather new. So it's not that new, but I think it came up this year, I think. And this was really a kind gift by Doug Owen. So Doug Owen, I mean, we had some exchange, some tobaccos and so on, and yeah, very, very kind. Thanks a lot, Doug. So he sent me a lot of stuff, a lot of tobacco, a lot of other stuff, and even this pipe. So I'm gonna show you the pipe. So this is my new meerschaum, so kindly gifted to me by Doug Owen. So and I have the stem changed, so I sent that to my stem maker to prepare that for 9mm filter, so as I always do. Yeah. So you might know Doug. So I think we were introduced by Tom, Northwest pipe smoker, and he likes to visit Doug's shop. So he's a retailer. Doug Owen is a retailer. He has a shop, Cargo Hold, that's in Polesboro in the Northwest, Washington. So, and they have a nice little harbor and a marina too. I don't think that's deep sea harbor for container ships or something like that. I don't think so, but it's yeah, it's a nice harbor, so for sailing boats and something like that. And yeah, I think Tom gave him a hint on the channel and said, well, perhaps you're going to take a look at that, because the map might be interesting for you. And so we got some kind of connected, and then shipping some tobacco around, and yeah, so thanks a lot for that. And Doug also gave me the idea to do this video because I don't know, I sent him a picture, and the background there was this ship. So, and he said, oh, well, I'm interested in ships, so what kind of ship is that? So, and that gave me the idea, so perhaps I should do 1 or 2 videos about historical ships that we have here in Bremen. And so since Billy Butt, where does the name come from? I just tell you what is in that, and then you're going to understand that. So it's a Cornell and Diehl, and they say, oh, it's a blend of bright Virginia flag. Well, that's obviously, when we hear blonde, we don't think about Latakia. So, well, that's the original version. So the Billy Butt, that's just with Latakia. So, well, this one is a blend of bright Virginia flake, white burley, chopped cigar leaf, and a touch of perique. So Billy Butt Blonde is a sweet sequel to the blend originally created for C&D's late friend Sailorman Jack. So it's about a sailorman, and Billy Butt that was actually a character in Melville's novel. I think it was the last novel by Melville, and there's a sailor named Billy Butt. And that's not only a character, but it's so it's more a metaphor. I think a metaphor for the good. And yeah, so I think that is something that yes, should be something worshipped or whatever. So let's see if the tobacco can keep up with the promise. So let's show you the tobacco. So the tobacco. So first of all, as always, as you know, there is a little paper. So, and then we have the tobacco. Got some tobacco on that. So, yeah, the cut. So, Some say it's a kind of broken flake. So I'm not sure about that, so I don't think so. For me it's not a broken flake, it's some kind of cause or whatever, so, but there are some flake parts in it. So you may see that, but they're hard to find, to be honest with you, hard to find. So when you touch the tobacco, you get the feeling it comes rather dry. It's rather dry. It's not absolutely dry. You don't have to rehydrate, but it's rather dry. And the texture is quite, I don't know, unusual perhaps, because there are many very small pieces in it, and even feels some kind of dusty. I don't know if that really fits, but after touching that, your hands feel a bit tobacco dusty like. So, and when you smell them, yeah, I think first impression is a rich sweetness. That's really a rich sweetness. That's what they say, and I think that's right. So, and the Virginia is really in front. Is really in front, and a little sour note from the Perique. So Perique, but just in the back. And cigar leaf, hard to detect. I think really hard to detect. Burley, perhaps a hint, but the Virginia is dominant. And yeah, the Virginia is dominant. And what happens if you light that up? So if you light that up, and I don't mean any disrespect saying that. Last few days, I tried the first self-grown tobacco leaf already dried at my cottage. So I just grabbed that and had a good drying for, I don't know, 2 months or whatever. So I thought I'll give it another shot. So cut that, and before that, I already smoked this Sailor Man Jack. So, oh, this Billy Butt, excuse me. So, and when I lighted up on my own tobacco, my first impression was, that's pretty near. That's really pretty near. Really is. Alright, my own tobacco is still a bit harsher than that, so that's for sure. And I don't mean that to say I'm growing good tobacco, or to say this is bad tobacco, or whatever. Just my impression is that, and I think the reason is, this tobacco is quite fresh. It's really fresh, so it's very straight, simple craftsmanship. That's a good thing, but very fresh. So that's what they say, and I agree on that. So those Cornell and Diehl tobaccos are packed very fresh. That's what I heard, and often doesn't really make such a difference. Let's say it's a cake or a Kentucky-based flake or whatever. So tobaccos that they have already had a good preparation, a good fermentation, there's something to it, and so on. So it doesn't really matter so much to them. But if it's a quite straight Virginia with just something in the back, it really makes a difference, I think. So what about the taste? So you really taste the rich sweetness. Of course you do. You want to be careful with going too hasty on that. Don't go too hasty on that. So that likes to get sharp. Well, but that's, I don't know, that's not a surprise. So it's Virginia, it's not a flake, just some flake parts, and more or less quite fresh. So I likes to get sharp then. So you want to take your time. So that's at least for me, or maybe completely different for you. So I've seen many good reviews, or many, let's say, different good reviews on that. For me, I think the tobacco should have had some time on the shelf. So like a good friend always points out, just buy it, just put it on the shelf, forget about it a year, don't even think about it, and then go for it. So that may be a good idea. So there are some tobaccos that could use another aging process in your own cellar. I think that's one of them. I think that's gonna be a fine tobacco and a really interesting tobacco. It's already now an interesting tobacco, don't get me wrong. So Perique notes, yeah, just very slightly. If you watch out for something with Perique, I don't know, go for something else. But cigar leaf, I'm not so sure about that. Perhaps Dominican Glory or Habana Daydream could do a better job. If you're looking for burley, I'm not sure about that. So, but if you're looking for something interesting, freshly packed Virginia, with a really rich and sweet note, quite natural, that may be something for you. So, yeah. But why am I talking about this on that location here? So there's a reason for that, I promise you to tell you. So before light is leaving completely. So you see the ship there. So a brick, but in German it's not really a brick, because to be very precise, it's a bark. Well, that's what we call it, but bark is not the sound of a dog, so that's kind of ship. So so let's say that's a brick. So I've seen the translation of bark is boat, but I don't know, I think boat is a bit poor for that. So if you're interested in that, so I'm gonna put a link down the bark where you can see the ship in action. So and this ship, this was produced, it was done here in Bremen at one of the great shipyards we had in those times, and pretty near to the time when Melville wrote about Billy Budd. So that was built 1906, and from that point on served as a lightship in the Northern Sea. And after that, I think in the 80s, end of the 80s, there was no need for that anymore. Everything is done automatically and so on. So that's the way it is. They sold the ship, and the ship then did a lot of journeys abroad, Pacific Ocean, everywhere. So one day I was in France, in the Normandy, and they have really a huge bridge. So that's the Pont du Normandie. So really huge bridge, and they had a postcard. There was a ship sailing with full sails under the bridge. So they wanted to show that how large the bridge is. And I took a closer look, and I realized, well, that's the Alexander of Humboldt. So that's the name of the ship, Alexander of Humboldt. So yeah, really became a famous ship. You can say that, I think. So just because it was used for many commercials, so especially for Beck's beer, and that's the reason I think why it's painted green. You see that? Because Beck's beer, the flag is green, and it has green sails, so quite impressive under sails. So yeah, it was used for many commercials and other stuff, or I don't know, documentaries and everything. So became quite famous. Then a few years ago it was bought back, so came home to Bremen, and now it's a ship it's a restaurant ship for tourists, for everything. So I'm not pretty sure. I don't know, is that poor? I don't know. Ship should sail the sea, shouldn't it? What do I know? I'm not much of a sailor. On the other hand, the fortune is that we have it, and we can go to it and can have a beer and drink and some dinner and so on. So doesn't hurt. So let it rest. Yeah. Yeah. And there are many more fine ships here. Perhaps one day I'm gonna show you some of those here at the Weser. But yeah, don't even think about this one. So that's a fake. So that's looks like an old brig from the 18th century, but it isn't. So it's an old fisher boat that pretends to be an old brig from the 18th century. So man, they reshaped that and so on, just to make it look nice. I'm thinking it looks pretty nice. So it's a pancake ship. So you can go over there and have some pancakes, and then, I don't know, get a drink at the back shop. So yeah, well, what do you expect? So that's that's a tourist harbor here. Anyway, well, it's, I don't know. I don't want to complain about that. Anyway, I put down a link in the bucket for the ship if you're interested in ships. And I'm gonna put a link down in the bucket for video done by Northwest Pipe Smoker Tom. So about Doug Owen's shop. I don't want to forget about that. So if you're near that, or you have a chance to give him a visit, just do. So he's really a kind guy. He knows his stuff. He has a lot of tobacco, I don't know, and a lot of other things. So for sailing boats and all the things. So you need, if you like boats. I think that's pretty much it. Or do I forgot something? I don't know. There's always something I forget normally. Yeah. My excuse for being so late, but I already said that. Yeah, there are a lot of videos on my list still. I don't know, but some of these videos I have to prepare for that, so I have to contact somebody and so on. Just hang in. So perhaps you give Billy Butt a chance, Billy Butt Blonde. Yeah, give it a shot, and it doesn't hurt. So perhaps you buy, I don't know, 2 tins or even more, and then you give it a shot, and the rest you put down the cellar. Should be really interesting in some years. And yeah, there are already some good reviews about that. I didn't mention, so I think Diehl there one cane rod piper. So if you have a chance to watch cane rod piper, so you should. So I like the way he's very calm. He explains things very calm, and yeah, it's very interesting. So he did a review about that too. So guys, that's it for now. Light is leaving. I'm gonna go up. Perhaps I can just go over and take a beer. So I don't know. But don't take this as any, I don't know, commercial promotion. So I know you're far away. You don't have a chance to come. So, or most of you perhaps. Okay guys, just joking. Hope you all are well. Take care and perhaps see you again. I have to be careful not to step back. I didn't want to forget that, because that would be bad. I'm just I don't know, 20 centimeters from the Weser, so wasn't possible any different. So okay, take care. Perhaps see you again.